teleprompter.
That's what I want.
Several years ago, a good friend of mine had a meeting with Donald Trump in Las Vegas, and my friend's a restaurateur, and he was pitching a restaurant in one of the Trumpsters' new facilities, new properties. He had never met Donald before, and they had not met each other, and so in the meeting, my friend sits down at the table. Mr. Trump walks in, reaches out his hand, shakes his hand, sits down, winds his watch and says, "You've got 15 minutes, sell me." I kind of feel like this is what this is about tonight. It's like auditioning for The Apprentice. You know, you are the people that make the decision. We are your humble servants. I'm looking for a vote, and a vote would be as your representative, not as a boss, but as a representative. So I ask for your vote, and I hope you'll consider that this evening. Many years ago, if you recall the election of Ross Perot, James Stockdale said, "Who am I and why am I here?" Well, why I'm here is to ask for your vote. Who am I? I'll try to give you a quick synopsis. I'll give you a little personal background. I'm a 15-year full-time resident of Key Colony Beach. I am married. You know, it's interesting. Nobody wants to be PC, and yet nobody wants to talk about labels. And I grew up as, I'm half Italian, half Irish. I was called a Guinea, I was called a Wop, I was called a Mick. I was called everything. And that didn't make any difference because we were all the same, you know? So anyway, labels can be sometimes a shorthand for information. My wife is a baby boomer. We have 2 grown sons, both of whom are Generation X children, and we have 3 Generation Z grandsons. Now, I'm already confused. I grew up in New England, was born in New England, moved a lot in Connecticut, lived in the Midwest. We're here from Chicago by way of most recently New Jersey and Connecticut. And because labels are sometimes effective, being half Italian and half Irish, I learned how to drink beer and wine at a very early age. When we had corned beef and cabbage, it was a pint of beer. When we had the lasagna, it was wine. It worked out very well. There was no confusion in the house. I'm also the firstborn of 6 children, which means that I became a slave at a very early age. I raised most of my family, my brothers and my sisters. They relied on me for a lot. So I learned early leadership. And I also learned the work ethic early, because when you're the oldest of 6 kids, you got to go to work, right? So at age 11, I had my first paying job, and I learned a very important lesson. And the lesson that I learned is that talk, T-A-L-K, is a 4-letter word that ends with a K that stands for intercourse. Think about it. Now, my neighbor asked me if I would deliver a bunch of pamphlets. He was in the full of brush business, and he wanted me to go out and deliver these pamphlets to tell people in the neighborhood he was going to be coming around. So I said, "Jim, I want you to go from Main Street to Old Orchard Drive, drop off these 100 pamphlets, I'll give you a penny a piece." I said, "Okay, Doc, I'm going to go from Main Street to Old Orchard Drive." Now, I'm going south on East Main Street, he was going west on East Main Street. We weren't communicating. So what I've learned from that little experience is that you have to talk to be understood, and you have to listen to understand. It's something that's critical in this job. We interact on a daily basis with each other, and sometimes it takes a lot more thought than just conversation. Another district heard from. I started my first job after that little pamphlet experience in the ice cream business. And little did I know that I was becoming an entrepreneur. I thought I was getting a free bicycle with a little box on the end, and we put ice cream in it, and I'd go sell around the streets, which I did very effectively. But I found out that somebody was supposed to put in dry ice to make sure the ice the ice cream didn't melt. Of course, there wasn't enough ice, and the ice cream started melting. This is in the early 1950s. I'm running around my neighborhood asking all of my neighbors and friends to put the ice cream in their freezers. Now, you remember the freezers in the 1950s? We had a Kelvinator refrigerator that was built in the 30s, had a freezer on it this big, and it fit 2 ice trays. Wasn't much room for ice cream. Needless to say that combined with the fact that every family in the neighborhood had many kids, the ice cream disappeared. So trust but verify is another important element when you're planning things. So those are background information. I've got a long history of business management, sales. I retired running a $300 million long-term care insurance company in Chicago. I have the background experience and leadership skills to do the job. I've done it, but just in case you don't feel that way, and I'm not one of the three that make the cut, I want to make one statement, and that is, I want to thank the commission for the opportunity to serve with all of you. It's been a wonderful experience, and with the staff, I mean, it's just, this city's got just some great people, and anyway, thank you for your time.